There's a lawsuit making headlines involving the CEO of a major real estate brokerage and allegations tied to his conduct with a subordinate. I'm going to jump into it. I'm Isaac Guzman with Real Estate CEOs, powered by LPT Realty. I'm here to bring you all the best, most relevant real estate information possible. We show you how to grow your business, convert leads, all that great stuff here on this channel. We also give you all the up-to-date information on LPT, where it's at, why you might want to join, and give you all the facts that you might not be able to find from a piece of paper or the random agent in your market. And lastly, we always bring you real estate news, right? Whatever's going on in the real estate industry that might impact you, your real estate company, your brokerage, right? So this is one of those. So let's just jump right in. It won't be too crazy here, but according to legal documents filed in federal court, Tamir Poleg, who's the CEO of Real Brokerage, is being sued by a man who claims that Poleg interfered in his marriage because of one of his employees, right? So he's one of Poleg's employees. And the husband is saying, you interfered in my marriage. The complaint alleges that in early 2025, Poleg offered a female subordinate substantial financial incentives, including access to company stock, cash, and the potential of a $1.5 million home. In a way, the plaintiff says it was intended, in this way, to persuade her to actually leave her husband and pursue a relationship with him, right? With the CEO, all right? This is all from the New York Post. I'll put the links in the description. And the lawsuit goes on to say that the man's wife filed for divorce in February of 2025, right after these events. And now he's saying, dude, I want $5 million in damages, ties to what he described as the breakdown of their marriage. It's important to actually stress that these are claims, right? These are allegations at the moment. Poleg has starkly denied publicly any of this, and he's denied intentionally interfering in the marriage or making improper offers, right? Indecent proposals, right? And he characterizes the lawsuit as unfounded. So it's important to point that out. The case is still pending. No court has made any final determination in this. Why even bring this up? One, you might have heard it, you might not have. Just want to bring that up. And it's just something that, we report on here from time to time, is hey, what's going on with other brokerages? What's going on with leadership, right? If something came across our desk, we're going to talk about it. The thing you got to think about though is why as a real estate agent does that even matter to me? Why does this situation matter to others in the brokerage, in the industry? Well, first, leadership conduct, especially at the top of a publicly traded or high profile brokerage, it affects perception and trust across the board. So whether or not the claims are ultimately proven, headlines like this can influence how prospective recruits, right, even clients of the agents and the partners view the company, investors as well. Negative press, you've always heard good, all press is good press. I don't know. Negative press rarely benefits a brokerage's recruiting efforts or their brand momentum. Second, right, on top of just that, here's something to think about. This is what, I was talking with a buddy about it, and this is kind of something he brought up, which is models built on aggressive growth and recruiting. They depend heavily on the narrative and reputation of the brokerage and leadership inside the brokerage, right? So many agents, like myself, okay, they evaluate a brokerage based purely on the paper stuff, right? Compensation, cap, stock, perks, revenue share, the elements you really find on paper. And I don't knock anybody for that. That's what gets me interested in a brokerage. If it doesn't make sense on paper, it's definitely not going to make sense in real life. But situations like this, they highlight the importance of deeper due diligence. I'm not saying this guy did anything that he's shady or anything like that. It's not even my place to say that, let alone is that my actual stance. But here's what I will say is it does serve as a reminder of hey, is it important to do your due diligence on the leadership? What values do the leadership have? What does that leadership body embrace? How do they make decisions when under pressure? And are those qualities someone wants tied to their own professional identity? Here's the thing you got to think about is this isn't the only cloud-based brokerage dealing with something like this, right? There's another really large cloud-based brokerage, all kinds of lawsuits, and the claims are the challenges. Hey, leadership knew about this. Things happen, things are going to happen. happen inside of any industry, inside of any group of people. There's always going to be stuff like that, unfortunately. But does leadership know, and how do they respond? So like what I'm actually watching for in this particular case is, how does the leadership, how do shareholders, how does the board respond? How do agents respond? Do they rally behind them and go, no, we're here for you all the time, no matter what? Do they go, hey, we're going to distance ourselves right away, even though nothing's been proven? It's really interesting to kind of see how that dynamic plays out organizationally. As agents, your brokerage choice is both a business decision and a reputational one. And I think sometimes we lose sight of that. I know I have before. Asking hard questions about character, culture, and leadership, that's not extra. It's strategic. And again, not really, this is less about this. It just kind of prompted this. But to be even more transparent, me personally, I chose to affiliate with a different brokerage because I wanted alignment with leadership that I can respect and trust across a number of reasons. Not worth going into. Most of them are highly personal, but the point is, you look at that. All right, that said, this video isn't about recruitment or comparison. All right, it's about awareness. I don't have firsthand knowledge beyond what's publicly available about this situation. And we should all be careful to distinguish between allegations and what's our established facts. And so I'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop it in the comment below on your perspective on how this could impact agents across the real estate landscape. Now, here's the other thing. Like I chose to sit down with Robert Palmer and research him first, understand who he was, right? He's the founder and CEO of LPT Realty. Wanted to research him, learn a little bit about him, got the opportunity to meet him and jump on calls with him. And so, you know, this phrase comes to mind called bet on the jockey, not on the horse. What it means is, who's in leadership? Who's actually making the calls? Who is at the helm of this thing? Not just does this thing run, but who is running it? And that phrase has been incredibly important for me. The reason why it was important is because I had been under other brokerages where the leadership, they weren't bad. They weren't doing anything crazy or anything like that. In some cases, I've heard some stuff since the fact or after the fact that maybe means it's questionable. But the point is this: were they the best people that to lead me through the industry, right? Are they the best, most suited people? That's the question. So when I met Robert Palmer, I was like, hands down, this is the jockey, right? I've been at Keller Williams, I've been at EXP, I've been at other places. And I look at the leadership at some of these places and I go, okay, great, really solid, understand that. But who's going to lead me through? It is the central figure who's providing the vision for the overall direction of this company. First of all, is there somebody there? Second, is it somebody that I align with, that I can trust to really help guide my entire career through all the changes in our industry? It's really important. Now, here's the other thing. I'm going to encourage you, do your due diligence, research your brokerage, figure out what's important to you. What are they doing on an ongoing basis to prove their alignment with what it is? By the way, that doesn't mean like political stance and stuff. That might be important to you, right? But how are they going to navigate the industry? What are their priorities? Are they in alignment with mine? Now, you might go deeper and go, I want them to have the same belief system I have in terms of faith or family or whatever. That's on you, right? I chose to look at it across a couple metrics, right? Across a couple dimensions, should I say, and found my alignment was perfect here at LPT. I encourage you to do that. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel, share, comment, like, do all the fun stuff, because, you know, we're always doing our best here and we love hearing your feedback. Until next time, keep crushing it in real estate.